Oh, I already blew it.
Hey, welcome to the
Welcome to
Dead
the
Baby
Dead.
Bear.
Because I just did a show, like a radio show last night and they do like they asked me to read some bumpers, and I was like, I guess we could do that, but it's kind of dumb, right? It's like, welcome to the Dead Baby Bear podcast. You're listening to CFRO 100.7 Co-op Radio, Vancouver.
We should get people to do bumpers for our show, but don't have them on.
Yeah.
We should. Yeah, you're
just
right.
just like our friends,
Just
but
like
never have them on.
Not even friends, just like a lady at Co-op. You're listening. Where's
she from?
The Philippines. You're bear.
Yeah, that'd be fun to get bumpers for that.
From just random people at Co-op. Hey, can I get you to read this? You're listening to Dead Baby Bear. Thank you.
But they have to state their full name.
Yeah, my dad's a good guy, but he's reached that age where like it's you get to an age where you talk a lot about the only thing you want to talk about is other people that are dying.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
my mom was there.
It's kind of depressing because it's like, well, he's got, Frankie, he's got cancer. And I'm like, well, is it treatable? Oh God, no. Not, like everything.
Oh God, no.
Not only does everybody have a horrible disease, but it's not treatable. It's over.
It's deadly cancer. But I mean, that's just normal. Like 20 years ago, he was talking about his friends getting married, and
Right.
then having kids. Now it's all your friends die.
Yeah.
It's just what happens.
It used to be like my mom gave me a lot of pressure to have kids, and now it's like, my mom really wants me to die.
my mom's giving me a lot of pressure to go to the doctors.
Just because all my friends are dead, she wants me to also be dead.
I think that becomes a thing though. Like my mom used to read the obituaries every single day, and then she'd be like, "Oh, I got another prayer service to go to."
It's because your body starts to remind you of your mortality. Like it's easy to feel immortal in your 20s and 30s because you don't have any nagging pains.
Yeah.
But I'm at an age now where like I have nagging pains every day. Like I'll have some kind of like under rib pain, and then a back thing, and then something that radiates from the top to the bottom, something that goes root to tip. And then
you find a bump and you're like, "Oh, that's a tumor for sure."
Yeah, and do you often feel your breasts for cancer?
Oh yeah, I feel my breasts all the time for cancer and for fun.
Yeah. How did you find out? Well, I was on OnlyFans. I got this one guy who really wants me to get mammograms. I don't know. That's gross. So did you have any money in GameStop? Did you win big?
No, I did not win big. And I've been following that subreddit for a while. Like I knew what was going on, but I just don't understand. Well, first of all, I don't have money to invest in anything.
Right.
Second of all, I still didn't understand it very much. I still kind of don't. All I know is that I think it's awesome that rich people are getting fucked over.
I think it's funny that when it comes to finances, there's Goliath, there's David, and then under David, there's us.
Yeah.
There's like billionaires that have all this leverage and all this power and all this money. And then there's David, who has not much money, but knowledge. And then, so that's their little slingshot, is like they have as much knowledge, but not as much money to create leverage. So they just have this little slingshot. And then under David is a littler person without a slingshot. And that's us.
That's us. Like I got an email a couple weeks ago from TD where like I bank, and they're like, start investing with us. It's easy. Simply put in $15,000 into this account. And I'm like, simply put in $15,000. Sean's gone.
Oh no.
Sean died.
Oh no, Sean.
Sean went broke.
Yeah. TD Bank got to him.
He heard TD Bank and he was furious, so he just hung up.
He's like, uh-oh.
Is he coming back?
Sorry, I lost you guys.
We lost you. He's back. Back
Okay.
again.
Tag team.
Okay, so yeah, they said simply give us $15,000 to put in an account. And I was like, I don't think I've ever had $15,000 in an account ever in my life.
Well, that's the thing too, is like rich people don't lose. So even in this scenario, it's still the hedge fund managers who lost all this money lost regular people's money, right? They didn't lose their own money.
Yeah.
They lost poor people. They lost, regular people's investments in a hedge fund. It wasn't their cash. So
Yeah.
even though they lost 40% of their business, and it's like, fuck you. That's what I love about poor people is we're like, yeah, we redistributed that wealth from those poor people to these poor people. And
Well,
rich people,
and everybody,
No solidarity.
no, we're like, well, fuck those other people that invested with those hedge funds.
even
Now
investing,
what's that?
you have to be rich for investing to work. Honestly, like I invested in the real estate market and I lost, and I've been losing since 2007, and I won't win for another 15, 20 years. Like I'm literally going to be 65 when this mess of a condo that I bought in 2000 for way too much money pays off, if it ever does. And everyone's always like, "Oh, invest in real estate. You'll always win with real estate."
You can't lose with real estate unless there's
Like,
some kind of a bubble that bursts. You're like, well, when's that going to happen? Right now, as soon as you bought
right
it. You
now.
bought it, bursting, bubble burst.
Yeah.
It's the
You,
it's known in the financial markets as the Kathleen effect.
I sat on that bubble and it burst.
Kathleen got into it. When I sit, I sit.
I live my jokes. My jokes are my
Right on
reality.
that fucking bubble. I mean, it's kind of fun, right? It was a kind of fun story to follow. And then like I like I like learning stuff. So I was like, okay, well, how do you short sell something like like you just bet on it to fail? It would be fun to be a hedge fund manager and just place this bet on this company to lose and then go out and do interviews where you're like, I don't know, I think that Dead Baby Bear podcast sucks, and then people just lose confidence. Like it'd be cool to have that power where it's just like you speaking and you just talk about something and then 10 minutes later you see a stock price that that it represents is like, oh, that person Sean LeComber said it sucks, so it sucks, and now I can, like, you can make money by just like saying something sucks. You have that much power.
I think that's the gross part though. Like it's just like it's crazy that these people decided, well, we're just going to bet against this company, and then it did start to fall. Like you could close down a company where like people work and make a living just because you decided you wanted to make a little bit of extra money. Like it's rich people are gross. Rich people
Yeah.
that have always been rich are gross. I find like if it's somebody that's never been poor or never felt like shit, then there's still some sort of soul inside of them. But people that are rich and have always been rich are gross.
Yeah, because they think that you're worthless, right? They think,
Yeah.
like they're like, well, Kathleen, like she's worthless. Of course I make money and she doesn't. They don't
But
really think that you deserve dignity or anything like that. It's like all that stuff is earned as far as they're concerned, and they've earned it. But there's no way that you can say like, I earned my money, I earned this house, I earned this yacht, by betting on companies to fail and then using my leverage to push them into the ground, and then I made a fortune off of it. Like, can you really say that there's dignity in that work, or that you earned that money? Like, that's not earning something. You haven't
no,
created anything. You've helped to destroy something and profited off of its destruction.
that, and then also the people like, if you have a good business and you start making a lot of money and you're like, oh, I'm a good businessman. I'm like, no, you got lucky, and your employees are really good because they're keeping your business afloat, and you got lucky. Like that's literally what it is. It's like Jeff Bezos got lucky. Like he had an idea and it worked. Tons of people have ideas that don't work. Tons of people fail every day with their
Yeah,
ideas that they want
look
to
at every
work.
idea. Look at every idea we've ever had.
I didn't even write any material for our our Republican comedy tour, like I was supposed to.
Shit, I
I
forgot
didn't
about our
even write one
Republican
joke.
comedy tour. Fuck, you forgot about your conservative joke?
I don't even like, the only thing I could do is like maybe I should do like a Lauren Bobart impersonation, or the lady that thinks all the school shootings are a hoax,
Oh
Marjorie
yeah,
something.
yeah, she's kind of
Those
cute.
fuck, they're crazy.
I think I wrote another one and then I just can't fucking find it. Like there's
Oh,
that.
you actually did the homework.
Well, Kathleen, I'm looking to get my grades up. But I still can't. I don't know where it is. I can't find the joke right now, so it doesn't matter. Nah, I think it was dumb anyway. But no, no, I'm just looking through some jokes that I have here, and
And
I
none of them are
can't.
Republican enough.
None of them feel like they're about that. But I know that I wrote one extra one. But yeah, I mean that's what that we have no follow through, right? That's our
Yeah.
problem. We have this dumb idea. No,
So
I
maybe
don't.
like those billionaires, they do work a little bit hard because they follow through with these good ideas, and that's what makes them rich. But the rest of us idiots, we have ideas, we just never put them into practice.
Right, because they'd fail if we tried. So what's the
They
fucking
would.
point?
I saw this thing on Reddit. I guess it was in like a Calgary subreddit where it's so some guy there bought in Edmonton. He lives in Edmonton. He bought a Lamborghini that's worth $4.3 million for to live in Edmonton. First of all, but $4.3 million on a car is really, it makes like, it's disgusting. Like it's so gross, especially now when people like are just dying because they everybody has like no money. People that are flaunting their wealth right now are especially disgusting.
Well, I think too, Alberta gets a bad rap in terms of like, oh my God, all the anti-maskers are there. But like, have you seen some of the protests in Europe? Like they're
Oh,
lighting shit on fire. Like,
yeah,
nobody's saying like, oh, these Dutch redneck fucks.
Yeah,
But
true.
I mean, their anti-mask, anti-lockdown rallies are like destroying shit. Like they're
yeah.
going absolutely. It's like seizing the capital bullshit. Albertans get this rap of like, look at these anti-mask, anti-lockdown loons, but they just walk around.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah,
they
they
pretty
don't
much,
set fire to buildings. And
oh, they're just walking around saying like, yeah, open your business, and then nobody does, and they go, oh,
I still think you should set fire to a mask somewhere at a protest.
a
Ooh,
mask
Just
burning. That would be fun
remember when you were going to do that in Calgary, just like burning bras, but you're you're a man burning your mask because
yeah,
you feel
a mask
constricted in
burning
it.
because it's not, yeah, because it's about freedom, Kathleen.
I love that too. Like women wear bras every day, and the bra I wore today was extremely uncomfortable. But I wore it to make society happier. They didn't have to see my tits bouncing around.
I don't know. I think women do it for themselves and then blame men. You know what I mean?
women
Like,
women do not wear bras for themselves.
no, real,
No.
you wear it for other people.
We wear it for other people because I know plenty of women that go braless, like because they're like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care what people think of what people think of. But like women wear bras because society makes us wear bras because we're told that we have to keep our breasts looking perky and perfect all the time. You can't have them hanging out. You can't have a slight little bit of nipple showing. Like it's fucking ridiculous. Bras. I'd rather have an anti-bra protest than an anti-mask protest.
I don't know. I think you can go upper body commando, and like men wouldn't be like, that's disgusting.
I highly disagree. I totally
Really?
disagree. I've been with men when I've seen when they like freak out because a woman's not wearing a bra. Like they
Really?
notice and they're like, "Whoa, she's not wearing a bra." Like
Yeah, but it's only the great tits that were like,
it's
wow, look at
not
those
even.
standing up without help.
It's the little titties. It's the long titties. It's all titties. Guy, stop acting like men are discerning with breasts. Stop acting like you're all like, "Oh, I don't like those ones, but I like those ones." Shut the hell up. You love all titties.
No, that's just a punchline to a joke, right? Like, hey, I love little titties, big titties, all the titties. It's just a way for us to, blur our, it's just a way for us to tell jokes on stage. Real men know the difference between tits and what tits are gross and what tits aren't gross.
Well, what tits are gross then? Because it's all, some people think tiny tits are gross and some people don't. Like, it's all selective.
I don't know. This is a question better asked to Jim, you know?
I would say it's a case by case basis.
It's a case by case basis. That's right.
Well, so what? So I'm gonna ask both of you. What do gross tits look like to you?
Gross.
Yeah.
Like what? Like
You have to see it to know.
Yeah, you'd have.
What?
Yeah, you can't just say. I can't just say. But I can. You know, if we were walking down the street and you were like, "Are those gross?" I'd be like, "Yeah" or "No." I could give you a. I could give you a thumbs up or down on those.
I wish I had like, I wish I wasn't doing this on my phone right now so I could hold up pictures of boobs and you can tell me if they were gross or not gross. You could rate boobs.
But I still think women should be able to do whatever the fuck they want. Like if you want them to be flopping around, go ahead. I'm not going to stop you. Nobody's going
I
to
think,
stop you in the streets and say, "Come
Prefer
on,
that.
lady."
I don't
Yeah.
know. I think that like it's just been ingrained in us for so long. You have to wear a bra. I've had like there was a girl that was working at the restaurant I was working at, and she wouldn't wear a bra, and she had like nice boobs, but you could see them through her shirt basically because if it was cold, you could definitely see them, and like people were offended
Really?
because they could see her nipple. Like nipples are like this weird thing because a man's nipple, throw it on the internet, who cares? But one lady nipple and people lose their fucking minds. Like I've made a couple $1,000s based off a nipple. Like it goes in both things. Like it can be good and bad, but like
Yeah.
seriously, like I can't believe I've made a couple $1,000s off of nipples.
It's funny. If we didn't have this nipple hang up, you would be even more broke than you are.
I'd be so broke. We could never get skip the dishes.
No. I was thinking about doing a skip the dishes job, but you know, it's just like, why does the money have to be so bad, right? That's the
Like what do
problem.
you
Is
make when you do that?
I think I looked into it locally, and it's like $4 a delivery.
And then do you have to pay for your own gas and everything?
Yeah, you drive your own car all over the place, and if it's a certain distance away from you, it's 7. But if it's like in your town or near your house, it's $4. So like I'd have to go to A&W, pick up the food, drop it off, and get $4. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it seems like, but that's another company, like that's a corporation. The people at top are making a ton of money because they have figured out a way to get other people to work for them for next to nothing.
Why don't we try to sell skip the dishes short? That'll be our move. We'll put all the money we have and just assume that skip the dishes is going to go down, because it will when COVID's over, right? Like the stock price of skip the dishes will go down when
Yeah.
people are allowed to like drive to restaurants again.
And people are going to be wanting to go out like hard. Like nobody's going to want to sit at home and eat their food at home. They want to be out in public.
Things could get like really dicey here soon if like one of the variants, like if the UK variant takes hold in Canada and there's another uptick in cases, people are just going to be like, okay, kill me. You know what?
Yeah.
Just fucking end it all. Let's just die together.
If they had done like what it's true though, like it's because people still, even when we should have not had them, people still wanted their freedom. So in March, they should have shut everything down. You shouldn't have been allowed out in the streets. Everything should have been shut down. You should have only been allowed delivery, stuff like that. But of course, people are like, well, I still need to be able to, but that's why like New Zealand and Australia and all those other places, they got a hold of it quickly and they took control of it. But out here, we got too many yahoos wanting their fucking freedom. And in order for them to get their freedom, we're stuck in this pandemic longer, which is like like if they actually sat and thought about it for 2 seconds, if their measly little brains, like I'm so mean to anti-maskers because they're fucking it for all of us.
Yeah, the problem with the anti-lockdown, anti-mask movement is their big thing is stop testing. Like, and it's like, well, what does that do? Like, that's the ultimate ostrich effect of just saying, stop looking into it. Like, it's their way of saying like, yeah, this is happening, but if we stopped testing, we wouldn't know it was happening. So why don't we just go back to not knowing it was happening? And it's like, well,
Yeah,
that's not a solution.
No, those are the same people that say more people die of the flu every year than COVID-19, which is not true, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. It's For a while it was fun going on Twitter and like reading through, because I'm big into now seeing like what's the next wave of QAnon, like what are they gonna do now that like Trump clearly isn't still the president and Biden
Yeah.
isn't in jail and Pelosi isn't dead, like what's their next move going to be? And they've kind of they've moved away from American politics, and now it's tough because now they're full anti-mask, like now they're full anti-lockdown. All of that energy that was directed towards Trump and pedophiles is now directed towards like open up these businesses or we'll fucking kill you.
Yeah. It's, I don't know. I'm just so, I think everybody is just so done with it that you're right. If this variant comes and it takes even more people and they literally have to shut stuff down, you're gonna start seeing people like fighting. There's gonna be murders. Like it's just people are so sick of this that like, I mean, I haven't seen a person without a mask in public, but I think if I did, I'd lose my fucking mind.
Especially when it's cold, right? Because this is the
Mhm.
first time where we've had this lockdown shit and we are literally stuck.
Yeah.
Like it's minus 22. So you can't go to a restaurant, you can't go to the bar, you can't go like to a friend's house, and you can't really even be outside or you'll
Yeah.
die from freezing, right? So it's just sort of like, okay, now I fully am stuck in this fucking place.
So
This
yeah,
dude,
so now when spring and summer comes, it's gonna be people are just gonna be like, I'm out, I'm leaving, I'm just getting out now, I don't care.
yeah. Oh well, we'll figure. I mean, either we'll all die from it,
Yeah.
which doesn't even seem that bad anymore.
No, I'm like seriously, like, come on.
It
The human
doesn't.
race has proved that we don't need to be here anymore. We've proven over and over again we're awful.
I think we've proven that we're awesome, but I think our time, it's better to burn, like, I mean, it's better to burn out than fade away, even as a species. It's better for us to just all die right now and then have an alien species come later and go, holy fuck, were these guys cool? Than to just have us fight it out amongst ourselves, destroy everything that, like we need to all die out now of a pandemic so that we leave some record of our existence behind for others, for the next alien crew to come by and go, holy fuck, the Dead Baby Bear podcast.
This was weird.
I found this old laptop and I downloaded some what the humans called podcasts. It's just
It is
them
kind of
talking.
it is kind of crazy because there is just so much like everything is filmed now. There's pictures of everything. Like we have so much stuff that like in 1,000 years people can look back and see exactly how we lived. Like we don't have that from 1,000 years ago. We have like books and like stories and stuff like that, but we don't have film of like how they lived in 1555. But now they have like film of everything, and it's
Yeah.
too much of it. There's way too much content out there.
Yeah, and it's all going to go in the trash. Like the future doesn't care about the past generally. So they're
Yeah.
not going to look back 500 years from now and like look through your old Instagram posts or what. They're not going to give a shit, like that.
No.
But it is kind of weird to think like your great grandkids would like, well, tell me about Kathleen. Like, well, let's check her social media feed from 200 years ago. And it's like, oh, she was dirty.
Here's her nipples. I also I got so annoyed this week with that Bernie Sanders meme with him wearing mittens
Oh
at
yeah.
the inauguration, and I just was just like, there's no creativity anymore. Like it's everything is just a recycled joke, and it was like there were a couple funny ones, but eventually people were just putting him at the Last Supper or like in any photo and being like, look how funny I am, look how funny I am. I'm like, you're not funny or creative at all.
Poor
And
old
there's
Bernie.
no creativity left. Like now we have TikTok and all they do is just redo things over and over and over. It's a trend now. There's no creativity. It's like it's gross. Like there's
And we also sort of like we force people to be cool with it too. Like if Bernie had any problem with that, people would have been like, fuck you.
he made $1.8 million for charity, which was cool.
Yeah.
He yeah.
What do
He
you got there? What are you swatting at?
Adam snoring on the couch. Yes.
Put your pap on.
Put your pap on. Yeah, poor Adams. He's like, he has to wear his mask all day at work, like he can't take it off ever. And then when he gets back to his room, he has to put on his pap mask. It's like he's the new Phantom of the Opera. He's constantly in a mask.
Just CPAP or work pap.
Yeah, but he's on his days off now, so he can be mask free in our house.
When do you think when's your next comedy show? Do you have anything coming up? Anything lined up? Any big shows to promote?
Well, we did have a show maybe that you and I are both on February 13th in Calgary, but now they're saying that AHS may not let it go through, so it'll just get postponed. I don't know. Like, we don't have anything.
I did an online show for the comic strip.
How was that?
In a studio. It was in like a studio setup. So it was weird because it like, you're standing on a fake stage, and there's like the comic strip backdrop logo behind you. You got a microphone, and there's like 4 big TV screens in front of you on gallery, so you can see everybody's face.
Yeah.
And so it actually simulates a comedy club fairly well. And then there's like they had this speaker right in front of you that was all their laughter being pumped into one speaker.
Weird.
Like you felt like you were killing all the time. Like the speaker was just so loud with laughs. Like there was times where I was looking at the faces and none of them were really doing anything. But then this woofer was just pumping in and I was like, are these laughs really happening? Or is this like, are these canned laughs? And I'm just like moving through the jokes with extremely high confidence, even though I should be like fighting for my life because the crowd actually hates it.
I kind of like how that sounds better than like standing in my living room with a ring light talking to no one. I'd much rather, at least you feel like a little bit more like you're in an actual show when you're like in a studio and things like that sounds a lot better than your own personal in-house Zoom show.
But even in that scenario, it's like, okay, the production value is better, but then the cost of production is so high that what's the point?
Yeah. Well, that's what people have been asking. Are you doing Zoom shows? Have you done Zoom shows? I'm like, yeah, but they don't pay anything. Like they don't pay anything because nobody's making money, because like people aren't clamoring to pay $20 a ticket to sit and watch a comedy show at home that lags, that is weird, that is odd. Like no, there's not that many people showing up to these shows. And like if you have 7 comics on a show, everyone's getting like $25, $50. Like it's not like
you could make decent money. Like if you put on if you just put on Facebook and Twitter and TikTok and Instagram, like I'm doing a show this Saturday, the Kathleen McGee show, and it's $5 a ticket, and you're just doing it in your house. You could make money doing that. Once or twice you could.
Yeah. Once or twice, but it's not a year of shows. It's not like working on like it's not the same. Everyone wants to convince me that it's great, but it's not. Things suck.
How many have you done?
I've done about 3.
Yeah.
One was brutal. One was just like, it was my first one and it was awful. The other one wasn't too bad. And then the one I did for Rumors, I actually had fun doing, but I just kind of like had 2 glasses of wine and just pretended like nothing mattered.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, but it's not the same as being in a room with people, and like it's depressing because you're like, I don't even know when we're going to be able to do that ever again.
Yeah, well, because like doing comedy live, there's a whole bunch of like, in case of emergency, break glass things you can do in front of a live audience. If you're failing, there's like 5 or 6 things that you can just kind of pull out of your ass to start doing better than. But when you're doing an online show, there's like no fire extinguishers around. It's just like, if you're failing, you're just failing. Like there's no, you can go like, hey, look at Mickey Thompson there, because you can see their names. But now Mickey Thompson's laughing because you just said Mickey Thompson.
Yeah.
But everybody else is like, who the fuck's Mickey Thompson? So like, there's no, like on the last show that I did for the comic strip, I said a lady's name, and then she started like screaming and put her hands in the air, and I'm like, it's not The fucking Price is Right. Like you're not winning. You've won nothing. You're not coming on down. There's nothing. You're just sitting in your goddamn living room. But yeah, they paid like $15 a ticket and they sold 175 tickets, right? So it's, but the production cost was so high that it's like, well, there's a lot of money in that, but then big deal.
Yeah,
Does it just
exactly.
it goes to the guys with the headsets.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It's not. I'm
Maybe
already like,
maybe we'll do that show in Calgary. Just fuck it. We should be the anti-mask comics. That's our fucking gravy train. Forget about this Make America Laugh Again. We could just be the comics that are like, we're going to the bar and we're doing a fucking show.
oh, then
And
we'd be those comics.
if you like your comedy tinged with freedom, and just let them come,
I mean, that's not a bad idea. I just have
We should
lost all like ambition.
We just need to flip our politics. That's the problem. We're just another couple of stupid liberal yahoos
That's true.
in a sea of liberal yahoos trying to do comedy. If we just flipped it and we were just like fucking dumbass woke shit. Look at these woke losers.
I'd rather just
another guy
tape this
that's not
podcast
white.
in person. I'd rather just tape this podcast in person because this is good, but it's not as fun when we're not in the same room.
No, because we're not the same level of high either. That's the problem. Like when we're together, we're on the same drug and we've done about the same amount.
Yeah.
But on this, we're sort of like, I've actually tailed off on my marijuana use because I've kind of just in the last couple of weeks realized my memory is fucking terrible. And I don't know if it's marijuana or just life, but there's been a couple moments in the last couple of weeks where I'll just lose a word and I don't get it back until I Google it. And then I'm like, how the fuck did I lose zucchini?
We're getting old and we've done a lot of damage to our brains.
How did I lose? I've lost zucchini before, but then I was able to go, what the fuck is that stew cucumber?
You and Hilaria Baldwin.
That cucumber that you can use in stews. It's a zucchini, and then it'll pop back. Zucchini. But this time I literally didn't get zucchini back. I couldn't get it back into my brain. I lost it.
That happens to me all the time. I'm like, there's so many times where I can't think of words. I drop everything. Like what did I drop? I dropped a carton of milk in the kitchen today. I dropped this. I'm like dropping it. I'm like this old fucking woman now. I'm like, this is why COVID sucks. Because I was still feeling cool and like young, like in 2019. But 2020 has showed me I'm an old fucking woman. I am this old woman. There's nothing to look forward to. There's like the only thing I look forward to is getting older.
But you're on like apps for children. Like that's gonna make you feel old. Is like fucking or being almost 40 and fucking around on TikTok with a bunch of 9-year-olds. That'll make
I'm not even really on there. Like I haven't been on it for a week or so, other than to put our TikTok stuff up. But yeah, no, it's true. Like you do feel old when you surround yourself with the youth. But like I don't know. I just like the pandemic has really showed me. I'm like, no, you're gonna be 40 this year. You're hitting the downhill part of your life.
Imagine getting like accidentally pregnant during a pandemic. That's a tough.
Oh my God. No.
That's a toughie. That one hurts.
I don't want to get pregnant at all.
I'm pregnant. And you're like, now you're pregnant. Like, we got to put a fucking mask on this baby as soon as it comes out. Like, when does this baby? Now I got to worry about baby masks and diapers. Oh my God.
And did you not see that they were telling that there were some people, which is another thing, everybody's getting different information. Some people are saying if you're pregnant, you should not take the vaccine. And others are saying it's perfectly fine. So now we're going to get all these people that are afraid to have vaccine babies, because nobody knows. Nobody knows if it's going to give birth defects or cause autism or whatever they say things like this do. But I mean, look at thalidomide. All those women were told to take thalidomide for morning sickness, and then they get flipper babies.
Oh, is that what they were called? Old fucking flipper babies.
Thalidomide babies are the ones that had like no fingers and like a lot of bad birth defects.
Imagine that first ultrasound where the doctor's like, it's a boy.
It's a
But
dolphin.
I mean, it's a boy, but oh boy, is it ever. It's kind of a boy. What do you mean, kind of? It's about a half a boy. It's a half a boy.
That's the thing though. Like, I mean, if I was pregnant right
Those
now,
arms
as much
growing.
as I'm like a vaccinator, I kind of would be a little bit hesitant to take it because nobody knows. Because
Yeah,
no
I'm
babies have been born from it.
but you might take it and just be like, hopefully either the baby's fine or it's dead, and then I didn't have an
Either way,
abortion. Science aborted my baby. What do you think of that, Bill Gates?
I would adopt. If I was gonna have kids at this point, adoption. Because I
Yeah.
adopted dogs and it worked out, so I'll adopt kids.
Yeah. I don't know though. I think you'd be surprised to have a little tiny McGee running around.
No, I just like I. First of all, I'm too old. There's too many chances for bad things to happen, and
Well, women always say that, but I don't believe them. I think you can still do it. You know,
why do you want me to have a baby so bad?
I just think that you seem to be
Just
down.
because Wendy's gone does not mean you have to take her place.
Was Wendy big into Kathleen having babies?
She did for a while, and then she realized like that was like a lost cause. When she but my mom also was very happy that I followed my dreams and went after things I wanted to do more than like had a family.
Yeah,
Because
no, it's good
my
that
mom
you
stopped doing the
walked
things
your
she wanted
dream.
to do.
That's true. But you walked
My
your
mom,
dream right off a fucking cliff, just like both of us did. You
it's true.
followed your dreams, and then your dreams fell off a cliff, and then you jumped off the cliff and hoped to catch up to your dreams, but they were falling at the same rate you were, and they jumped 3 seconds earlier, so you never did. Oh, isn't that too bad? But what was your mom's dreams? Did she? Because that's the thing too, is a lot of parents have that animosity or resentment towards their
Oh
kids
yeah,
for,
my mom had
I had
that.
to take care of you guys instead of following my dreams, and it's like, okay, let's get real. What were the chances of those dreams were fucking coming true? You fat ballerina.
She was working in television, and then she got pregnant, and she had to have babies instead.
Right, like she would have been fucking Connie Chung if she didn't get knocked up. Let's get
I don't
serious.
know. I don't know. I don't know.
I think the same
I have
thing's true for this. I'm not even talking about Wendy specifically. I'm just saying, like, even for the average person that resents their kids for like, I had you and then I couldn't follow my dreams. Like, you were, those dreams weren't happening anyway. Relax. And then
but
you
I
get to live
also
in this
like
weird, you get to live in this weird bubble where it would have happened. Like all of your dreams would have, if you hadn't had children, not only would you have followed your dreams, they would have all come true. Would have
yeah.
all happened. All of it.
But I don't regret not having kids. Like I love the life that I've had. I've gotten to do cool things that if I had gotten married at 25 and had kids, I would have never ever done. I would have never done. So like I'm happy that I didn't have kids. I'm not like sitting here like upset that I don't have children. Like it is possible for humans to not want to have kids, Sean. Like it's the thing. Like there are
Oh,
actually
I know
people
that.
that don't feel the need to reproduce themselves to add to the shit to this world.
Just another snore on the couch.
Just another snorer on the
Your
couch.
your baby's got the same collapsing throat as Adam.
I have a short esophagus, so our kid would have some sort of throat problem.
A short esophagus.
Like when I was a kid, I used to puke all the time. If I got upset, I'd puke.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. Ah! Like that's an awesome superpower where like if you
It's
piss
also
that
I give such good blowjobs. I got a short esophagus. I don't know. I'm just kidding. I have no idea why I give good blowjobs.
I thought you were gonna
Just a
say, I don't know if
perfectionist.
you give good blowjobs.
No,
But
I
you're,
just
oh, I don't know why I have such a gift.
exactly.
There's not too many girls out there that are like, I'm not good at it. It's weird.
There's girls out there that don't enjoy doing it or don't want to ever do it.
Yeah, of course. Why not? It's
Why
like
not?
it's like the old Louis C.K. joke of like, like nobody wants to suck their husband's dick.
It
Like
is
if it's a stranger at a bar, sure, but your husband's dick, like, a guy you just played bridge with, nah.
it is weird what humans do. It is really weird that humans have figured out that putting other genitals in their mouths is something that we should do for fun. Like, I think if you asked a normal person that didn't know anything about sex, they'd just be like, what the fuck? I remember as a kid, and the first time I ever saw a blowjob, we found like ravine porn, you know, and like you find a porn that someone has hidden in the ravine. And we found this ravine porn, and
Ravine porn.
you never heard that?
That's hilarious. Ravine. There's a term called ravine porn.
I called it ravine porn. Hold
Yeah,
on, I
like
gotta.
stuff you find in the bush.
Yes, bush porn, but yeah, no, that sounds too gross. Like I'm talking about. We found ravine porn. Hold
Was
on.
it like VHS? Was it like homemade porn that was on tape?
No, it was a magazine. It was a box of like porn magazines that some other kids leave in the ravine, so the other kids can go look at the porn because they're not
Okay.
going to leave it in your house for your parents to find. So we
I-
had ravine porn, and I was looking at it, and we were looking through it, and I saw a picture of a woman with a penis in her mouth, and I was like disgusted. I was like, he pees out of that. Why would she put that in her mouth?
She doing? Drink water. You don't need to
Yeah,
take a
you
man's
don't need to
urine,
drink
man.
piss. Yeah, no, like it's weird. But then like you get older and you start doing that weird shit, and you're like, what the fuck? My younger self would be very upset with myself.
Dick's an acquired taste, you know?
I still think butts are gross, and I can't believe that that's become a thing.
It's always been a thing. Like cavemen
It's
were doing, you know.
cavemen were eating ass.
I don't know if they were eating ass. They probably
No.
weren't that progressive. No, I guess you're right. I mean, they were eating a lot of dirty things, but not ass. Like they were probably eating like infected meat all day, but then they'd look at ass and go, "No, thanks."
But even like when I was in my 20s, like if I can't recall very many men that wanted to do that or asked me to. But now it's like everybody like literally puts it in their profile. I eat ass. It's so weird. It's so weird that people admit to putting their mouths on a poo hole and say that they enjoy it. That's weird. That's fucking weird.
Jim has this look on his face like it's a case by case basis.
And you'll never see that face because he puts
I'm
the
not
dead
gonna
baby
eat.
bears.
I won't eat any ass. I won't
But
eat
some.
any and all ass. It's go on an ass by ass basis.
I mean, I suppose
I mean,
it is.
I have a bidet now, so I have a very edible ass, I guess, because it's quite clean all the time. But I still
Very
wouldn't.
edible ass.
I have an edible ass. But
I
I
know.
would never expect anyone to eat my ass. I think it's weird.
But you have a very short ass. Like you have a very short.
Anal tube?
Yeah, your anal tube is so short.
Is that what it's called?
You could shit at any moment. Is it colon?
It just falls out of me.
When I get upset, I shit myself. We got another cat now, so now we have 3 cats.
I saw that. Where did you get that cat from?
Some fucking lady.
Some fucking lady?
And that's the thing, you have to like even to get a cat, you have to like do a job interview. You know.
I remember like in Vancouver, my friend was trying to adopt a dog and she got rejected 4 times, like through an interview process. So she eventually just went to a breeder and bought one.
That makes sense because I did like they asked that I be there too. It's like, well, we need your husband to be there. It's like, your husband? What the fuck? Why do I need to be at this cat job interview? And then they'd ask questions like, how do you discipline cats? You know, what's your cat discipline strategy? And I'm like, I don't fucking what? Like, sometimes you tell them to shut up. That's how you discipline cats, right? Like, you can't get physical with them. You can't beat them or hit them with anything.
No, don't get physical with your cats. I blame Luca Magnotta for all this, all these, because he's the one that kept adopting kittens and killing them. It's people like that.
I think it's just like people like to, you know, for you to be like a person who takes cats in, there's a part of you that wants to kind of have that mini power trip of being able to decide who gets that cat. Like you took it in for 6 weeks and raised it and gave it all its shots and did a bunch of shit. and now you get to kind of sit in judgment of somebody and be like, I don't know if you're the right fit. And it's like, what do you mean the right fucking fit? We're human beings. We want a cat. That's the right
I got
fucking
to be
fit.
that person once.
You got to be
I
the bitch that was like, I don't know if they're right. I don't know if it's a great fit. What do you mean a great fucking fit? Like, what is this cat? Anti-Semitic? Is it a Holocaust denier? You can tell that through its meowing pattern. Like,
I
what are you
fostered
talking about?
kittens, and I got to judge the people that came in.
Hmm.
But I like they all they would say is like, do you think that this cat, and everyone that they asked, I said yes, this person would be fine. But one woman came and she was on a cat interview, and there was 3 really cute kittens, and well, 2 because I adopted one, but there was 2 really cute kittens, and she's like, no, I don't like these ones. I'm like, what? Like, you don't like these ones? Like, you're being selective over how would you not like a kitten? Like, what the fuck did this kitten do?
Because here's the thing about that. That's racist, right?
It is racist.
There is cat racism where you're
They
like,
were
no,
black and white cats.
I like gray cats over
Yeah.
white cats. Like, what are you talking about? The cat is what if its temperament is horrible?
I
But
have
you're
a friend
like,
that's
no,
very
it's stuck
cat
on
racist
gray.
because
It's
she
got to
only
be
has
gray.
orange cats.
That's dumb.
I have a friend that only has orange cats and only likes orange cats. She says she likes all cats, but I'm like, you only get excited about orange cats. You're a cat racist.
I think it is cat racism, and I'm not. I don't like that.
And it's really funny, but like when you do meet somebody that buys a cat from a breeder, like that is the most cat racist person. They want a specific cat that they're willing to go and spend like $1,000 and go to a breeder to get that specific cat.
Yeah.
I kind of feel I get it more with dogs because I understand, because like sometimes you want a big dog or a small dog, but cats are cats.
They are.
The only thing you could really say is like, I want a short haired cat or a long haired cat. Like, I guess that would be the one thing.
Or you can be
But
the weirdo that gets hairless. That's like the female version of the male pit bull owner. You know, the girl that gets the hairless cat. The girl that gets the fucking hairless cat, and everybody's like, it looks weird, and they're like, but I can see beyond.
oh my
I'm
God,
the
they're
type
always,
of person that can see beyond the outside
they
and
are,
reach in and see the beauty within this fucking freaky, gross ass cat.
they're always like, I'm so edgy. Look at this
Yeah.
cat that I have. I have the weird
Well, you're
looking
so
cat.
superficial. You need fur. That's great, but I don't. I like to pet some fucking waxed testicles all night.
The very first apartment I had, it was like in this like complex called Strathern Heights. There was all these like little blocks, and there were 4 apartments in each block, and there was like, so you'd enter this thing, you'd either go upstairs to one of the 2 or downstairs, and I was in the downstairs, and the person above me had one of those hairless cats, and it would always get out. And one day I was leaving, and this hairless cat was just like, I didn't expect to see it, and it was just sitting on the stairs looking at me, and I screamed. That cat was fucking creepy.
It is a gremlin show. It is gross.
They are weird looking. I guess, you know what? I did buy a cat once that was a breed cat. I just realized that.
Oh, you went to that little slave trade show and picked out your favorite?
No, I wanted a munchkin kitten. So munchkins are cats with short legs.
What?
And I got a munchkin. She was the cutest cat ever.
And did you keep it through its entire life?
Yeah. That's the one that I think I told the story of like when I moved to Toronto, I couldn't take it. So my mom had it, and then I was working and I was on the streetcar, and she called and said, we had to put your cat down today. And I was sad, but she said, don't worry, I got a picture of her for you. So I was happy until she sent me the picture, because it was a picture of her holding the dead cat. So yeah, that was the munchkin kitten.
Yeah, you've definitely told me that story before, probably on this podcast. And I think it was too soon after your mom's passing for me to make any kind of like, what the fuck reference,
Now you can.
So I think at that time I was like, oh, well, that sounds like that's wonderful. That nice that your mom
was worse.
But now
I was crying and laughing at the same time.
I think we can dig into like that doesn't make sense, right? To show somebody a picture of their dead. It's like when you open the obituaries, it's not them dead, right? It's a picture of them 10 years before they died at a picnic.
Yeah.
It's never
No,
like,
thank God
you
you
know
don't
what?
take a picture of the dead person and publish it.
You should fucking, I want to put that in my will. Where like when I die, my obit picture in the Edmonton Journal is going to be me dead. Dead. Just a picture of my face, absolutely fucking dead. And but pose me in, like, put me in a place where I liked to be when I was living. I don't want my family to like spread my ashes. I want them to take me around while I decompose.
You want to like weekend at Bernie's, but like make
Yeah,
it a 6 months with the Converse.
yeah. And just take me all over the place, and I start to reek and fall apart.
Grandpa
And
Sean really smells bad.
why did we have to take him on the plane?
We had to buy an extra seat for him.
He's disgusting, old Grandpa Sean. Well, this was in his will. He wanted us to spread his ashes, and oh God, I don't know. We'll be fine. One day this pandemic will be over. You're gonna take off on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
That's what I figured.
I don't know. I'm just like I sporadically post on there. I'm sure people don't feel like they're getting their money's worth, but whatever. Can't.
That's
No
why I
refund.
shit like that, because then you lose people and you're like, well, this sucks.
Yeah. Oh, I had 50 followers at one point. Now I have 20 because I haven't been posting very often. And I think I told you too. Like some guy sent me a message, like, I'm not gonna follow you anymore because you don't post enough content. And I'm like, okay, bye. Like, what do you want me to do?
Well, that's
I'm
like
really,
passive aggressive guy code of like, I'll follow you if you show me your tits more.
yeah.
I'll pay you the money if you're gonna put it out there, bitch.
Yeah. I just really want my goat farm. I've wanted it for a while, but I really want it now.
Well, all you got to do is sell. That's what I've loved about this. The kind of the Melvin hedge fund and like GameStop is how many people are all of a sudden like literally a financial advisor on Facebook and Twitter now. Where like I never heard them talk about finances at all, and now they're like, well, it's pretty basic. Here's what you do, and it's like, no, here's what you don't do because you live with your dad.
Yeah, there's a lot of experts now because they read
You
one
live with your
article.
dad. Like I know for a fact that you don't know what the fuck you're talking about because I
Listen,
know where you live.
I watched The Big Short last night, so I know exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
I watched The Big Short and I still don't get it.
That's me. Like, you can educate me, and I still won't get it. I still don't understand how numbers work or how money works. I don't get it at all.
It's pretty basic. You earn it and then it's yours. And then, it's the earning it part that sucks. Well, what we should do, like, we should both go back to school. What would you be like if you could just take 4 years off and go back to school and be something else? What would it be?
Maybe if it only took 4 years and it wasn't hard, I'd be a lawyer, but I'd want to be like one of those fun lawyers. Like I wouldn't want to be a boring lawyer, just doing boring lawyer law. I want to do like I want to be like criminal law or like crazy stuff.
Yeah, you could be like, you could specialize in, just being the only person willing to represent this pedophile. And then just come into court all light and fun and like, how's it going, guys? Like
No,
talking to the jury.
I
Like,
don't want to be a murder defense lawyer. I just want to be able to say things like, well, I guess that's a murder. I want to say like objection. And I want to say, if it does not fit, you must acquit. Like, cause I watched like some documentaries about that and just like watching how he came up with that. And I was like, oh, that's crazy.
Johnny ass fucking Cochran, but
There's a new Netflix documentary series called Trial by Media. And it's all these different trials that the media really like affected and like really like the Jenny Jones murder and like this other one where white guy shot four black guys that he said were going to beat him up on a subway and like I don't know, it's interesting.
yeah, I mean, the media doesn't give a shit, right? They just like put something out there, and then if people are interested, then they're like, okay, let's dig a little deeper on this, and like, but yeah, I think I remember that case where it was like a white guy that killed 4 black guys and said like, you know, oh yeah, they were going to beat me up on the subway and I was scared for my life. And then people kind of were like, yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. It's interesting. I'd never heard that story before. And they were like, you know, he was sort of a hero for a bit.
Yeah.
And then he said something that pissed off a lot of people. And he basically said, no, I murdered those kids. Like, I am a bad person. I should be punished. But also, I was terrified for my life. Like, and it, you know, I don't know. It's weird. It's interesting.
I think he admitted at some point to being like racist or had some kind of history of racism or something. And then it was like, oh, okay, this guy went on there to kill.
Yeah. What would you be? Wait, if you could go back to school, would you be a dentist?
A dentist? I don't know. I think I would be like, I think I'd like to be like a psychiatrist.
And just sit and listen to people talk all day? You would hate that. You hate customer service. Being a psychiatrist is the biggest customer service.
No. What you're talking about, like listening to somebody prattle on about their bullshit, and then at the end you say, okay, thank you for coming in. We'll see you next Tuesday. And then somebody's like, here's 250 for that. And you're like,
that's
okay,
what you want to do?
All right. Like somebody's, yeah, I wouldn't mind having people like just listening, being paid handsomely for it, and then Googling, you know, whatever I think they might have, and then giving them the appropriate pills for that. Or maybe I think I'd be the psychiatrist who gives everybody Oxy.
Listen, this stuff is great.
And then people would be very happy with my practice. They'd be like,
you have really good Yelp reviews.
Ever since I started taking the pills Dr. Sean told me to take, I've noticed.
Why don't you become a pharmacist?
I don't know. I don't like pharmacists because then that's a lot of old people and their knee stuff. And they're, you know, then I got women talking to me about vagina problems. Does this one make your pussy lips? Is this the, and you're like, oh, fuck. God. That's disgusting. I think psychiatry is where it's at. You just listen to problems and then you're like, oh yeah. This reminds me of another one. Yeah. Okay, I'll give you the Oxy. That's the Sean.
I'll be your lawyer. I'll be your lawyer when you get sued for something for giving too many people Oxy.
But I think it's too, yeah, if I could go back to school, I think that's what I would do, is like psychiatry or something. Sometimes I often think about like being a police officer for some reason, because I think it's like easy enough and it's a career and you're sort of like in this brotherhood of like, yeah, we're fucking bros and we're taking shit off the streets. And then if I'm ever in trouble, I can just steal some of the drugs. That's what I would be. I'd be that cop that was letting everybody off, but taking their shit as well. Like, hey guys, cool it. Like, quit dealing drugs here. Give me all that money and that coke. And then I'd leave. And then I just saved them. You'd be guilt-free because you just saved them 15 years in prison. They're not going to tell anybody that happened. And then you've got coke and cash all the time, you know?
That is true. Nobody's going to report a cop for stealing my cocaine. But that cop stole my cocaine.
So I think I'd do that. I think I'd be maybe a police officer. Maybe, yeah, that wouldn't be bad, I don't think. Like a cop, you know? I don't think I'd like to be on the beat. I'd like to be like a homicide detective.
You really would want to be the first person to show up at a murder scene?
Yeah, why not?
You think you can handle like walking in and like seeing like someone slashed up?
I don't think it's like in the movies. I think it's like it's usually just somebody slumped over a bed and there's
no, have you not seen crime scene photos?
Yeah, but that's a once in a career kind of thing where it's like, and her entrails were tied around the alarm clock. That happens like once or 0 times in your career. Like the ones that I would show up to would just be like, oh, there he is. Frankie's dead. You're like, looks like a heart attack, but it might not be. Call Sean. Like,
oh, Detective Sean.
I'd go to the ones that were like, we're not sure. I'd be the shitty homicide detective where they're like, send them to the ones that are probably natural causes, but might not be. Like, send them to that rocking chair with a dead guy in it.
You want to be a detective. You don't want to be a police officer.
No, but I think you have to put in like 5 years of given tickets before they'll look at you for homicide.
Really?
That's the
Not even
research.
if you just go in and say, I just want to be in homicide?
Hi there. I just kind of, yeah, that's like being the comedian that shows up to his first open mic and they're like, I think I'm only interested in headlining, actually.
I have 8 hours of material.
Yeah,
That would
I
be
have to
so
do that.
funny just to show up at the cop shop. Hi, I'm interested in homicide work or homicide work.
Hi, I want to be a homicidal detective. Like, okay, well, learn to say it, and then we'll give you the application form.
Have you ever
No,
read the book The Giver?
no.
So it's like one of my favorite books from like it's like I think I read it in junior high. It's about the future. It's like a like this different time or whatever. But so there's a person there, and his role is called the giver, and he gives everyone their job. Like he just meets them when they're young, and he says, "Oh, you're going to be a good doctor. You're going to be a doctor." And then like there are women that are just birthers; they just become mothers because they're very maternal. And then there are people that like. So everyone is just given their job, and that's what you're supposed to do. I mean, like I kind of think they need to start doing that because there's so many people in the world that think they're good at their job and they're not. They're really bad at it.
I had this weird epiphany that, I realized that I've kind of indirectly looked down on service industry people, not because I look down on them, but because I end up having to like defend them in conversation when people are like, oh, fucking whatever. It's for kids anyway. Like, you're not supposed to make a living. And then I'm like, fuck you. Like, these people deserve respect and dignity and a living wage. And like, but I guess just in defending them, I'm kind of putting them down a little bit. Like, I'm kind of saying that, like, they deserve respect, even though they're doing that stupid job. But then I realized, like, if I worked alongside them, I would be worse than they are.
What do you
Like
mean?
I'd be the shitty person at Walmart who didn't know all the buttons. And then this like lady would come over who normally I'd be like, oh, come on, cut her some slack. That poor old lady, $14 an hour. Oh my God, how does she make it? And then she comes over to my till and I'm like, I can't get the chocolate bar. It doesn't have a barcode. And then she's like, it's 798-783. And then she just fucking types it in. And I'm like, oh my God, this bitch is higher on the life pole than I am. I'm this,
Well,
I'm
people think that service jobs are easy, but I mean, I worked at Starbucks for and it is an easy job. A monkey could do it, but like it is funny when someone comes in and they're like, "Oh, you can." Like, here's an example: Starbucks. People that order extra hot, no foam. Are you fucking dumb? Like, do you know how much milk gets wasted when I got an extra hot, no foam your fucking milk? Like, it's so annoying. Like there's just like people everybody should have to work in a service industry job at least once in their
I
life
love the
so they
fact
get the
that you're
feeling.
stuck on that. I love that you're stuck on extra hot, no foam. You're like,
I
you
hate it.
drive me fucking crazy. Hi, can I get extra hot, no foam? You fucking like you're just enraged by this fairly innocuous order type. Extra
When
hot, no.
people order that, I judge them hard.
You don't
And
need extra hot anything. That's the thing. You don't need extra. Hi,
no,
can I get my tortillas hotter than normal? You don't need anything to be hotter than it normally is when it's served normally.
no. That's
Right?
just a stupid person.
Hi, can you
But
come
yeah,
over
I
here
think everybody
with
should
the
have to work
torch
in
and
service.
hit the top of my throat? Thank you. Just, you know, hi, can you make everything taste like nothing for the next 5 days? I'd like extra hot, no foam, so I can't taste my wife's cooking for a week.
And also, if you're getting a latte, a part of a latte is foam, you dumb bitch.
Is it
Sorry.
usually men or women, or what? Because women seem to be more of an extra hot, no foam kind of crowd.
That is a woman thing. That is definitely more with like, and I barista a lot, and that's a big lady thing. The guy thing is like they don't know what they're doing, and then they're like, "Well, have one of those." I always called the caramel macchiatos. I call
Yeah.
those the dude because that's what guys always order because they think it's not. There's no caramel in it except for on top.
These fucking guys, they don't even know there's no caramel in it. Like, I like how you're like secretly judging everybody,
Oh, I
like,
judge the shit. Hey, if I work in the service industry, you best believe I'm judging you when you order.
did you ever like guess a person's order before they came up? Was that ever a gift you had?
Oh, like the dude, I could guess the dude almost every time.
Yeah. But girls
Just some
very
guy that walks in looking very confused. I'm like, oh, he's gonna order the dude, and they always did.
regular, just a coffee. I just like those are my favorite Starbucks guys. I just want a coffee. Just get,
So why are you at Starbucks?
And they're like, well, do you want a pike? What? And they're like, I don't fuck. Just give me a fucking coffee. And they're like, okay, but you still have to say what kind of fucking coffee. Like, they act like Starbucks. I'm here to take Starbucks down a notch.
Yeah.
Like, as if the lady right in front of you made up all the names, as if it wasn't a marketing firm that made 80 million to come up with those fucking names. You're going to take it out on the lady at the till. Like, I don't want any of your frilly bullshit.
And I'll have a large, because I don't know what venti is.
Yeah.
Large, a big one. Not the biggest, but not a little one.
It's We're walking into Starbucks asking for a large double. You ignorant swine. I'll have a large double. You're at Starbucks, sir. You'll have a venti coffee with 2 creams and 2 sugars.
You know what I would do to those customers at the drive-thru? I'd be like, okay, just drive through, sir. And then when they came to the window, I'd be like, yeah, no, drive right on through.
Right on. Deserved.
Get the fuck out of here. You didn't earn it.
You uncultured swine. I love that people that drink Starbucks think that they are better than people that drink Tim Hortons because they spend a lot more money on their coffee.
You just don't notice, right? You just don't notice.
No, but like I think that like if I've heard people make fun of people that drink Tim Hortons coffee because they're Starbucks coffee, which is actually really bad coffee. But Starbucks, if you're gonna get a fancy coffee, it's gonna be about $6, but it's only like $3 at Tim Hortons. So I think people drink Starbucks for the status, which Starbucks knows because when I went to Coffee University, they had a whole thing about how the white cup is a status symbol. I'm like, good Lord, what is happening in this world?
Oh my God, it's a status symbol, for fuck's sake. You had to go to Coffee University? They didn't even call it Coffee College, which would have been easier. No. They were like, no, Coffee College is for Tim Hortons.
Coffee
University. You have your bachelor's degree in fucking tea. Oh my God. How long were you there for? Like, did you have to do it for a week or a month?
Oh no, when I lived in Toronto, I worked at Starbucks almost the whole time. Almost for 4 years.
Wow.
That is a really interesting place to work because it is actually a really good place to work because they do put you through a really good training program, and like they do, like in Toronto at least it was good because there were a million Starbucks there, so I could get time off very easily. Like if I had to go do shows or stuff, like I could say I need someone to take this shift, and they had people that literally their job was just to rotate around the Starbucks in Toronto and pick up shifts. But it wasn't the worst place I've ever worked, that's for sure. But the people that come into Starbucks are awful.
I guess so. But Tom Cruise is never gonna come into a Tim Hortons, right?
No, he came into my Starbucks. I know. So that's what I mean. That was the only reason that you were able to have that time with Tom Cruise. He wasn't gonna come into Tim Hortons for a fucking medium latte, like he's a Starbucks. Greg Kinnear came in like for a month straight when he was filming the Kennedys in Toronto. He came into I saw him every day.
Son of a bitch.
And that man has some striking blue eyes. That is like,
Greg Kinnear. Well, I think you did. I think you're done your time. You can leave now.
Yeah, I think you're done. I didn't bring a scratchy ticket. I forgot.
I got a scratchy ticket.
Oh, you did?
Crossword one.
Oh, that's a huge one. That's going to take forever.
I know, but how do I find the fucking thing?
Oh, do you have the app now?
No, I don't have the app, but I don't know. How the hell am I going to find out what this is?
Well, now you're going to have to scratch the whole fucking crossword. Why would you get that one?
I don't know why I did this. It just like...
You need the app.
I said crossword deluxe, and then he's like, okay. And then I was like, why did I say that? Because this is like 9 pages. This is a book.
It's a book.
I don't like it.
The crossword one actually once fooled me and my mom because when we were doing it, we got 2 words and we thought, oh my God, we just won $10,000, but you had to get 3. We thought if you just got 1 word, you would win, but you had to get 3. We were so dumb.
Did you celebrate or did you just...
we literally thought we won $10,000 and then we took it in and the guy's like, no, this is not a winner. We're like, but we got two words on that one puzzle. He's like, you got to get 3. We're like, oh God. We're stupid.
Oh, what a
That-
horrible
that
way to
means-
what a horrible
that
way to
means-
leave 7-Eleven.
Twice in my life, my mom thought she won the lottery and didn't.
Oh my God. Ah, well, she sent you a picture with the dead cat, so
Yeah. Yeah.
up for it. Well, thanks for doing this podcast, Kathleen. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for being here.
We'll have you on next week.
Okay. We'll do some bumpers.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do random bumpers. Just people on the street, just people at 7-Eleven, and just get them to read like, "You're listening to Dead River Burr."
Get your dad to do one.
Hello. You're listening
Get
to Baby's Dead Bear.
your dad to do one. Get your kids to do one.
You're listening to No, I can't. My kids, yeah, they could do one.
You can use your kids. Okay.
I'm sure I could.
Yeah. You can use your kids.
They can do it. All right. Well, thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Jim.